Hello super friends and welcome to DC TV Talk. This is the show where we talk all things Supergirl, The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow and Black Lightning. And in today's video we're going to be discussing the upcoming theory of mine about Cecile Horton, who is of course the DA of Central City and the love interest of Joe West, actually being one of the 12 bus metahumans. So let's discuss. So in the last episode of The Flash, otherwise entitled Subject 9, we saw the 9th bus metahuman, otherwise known as Izzy Bowen, who was a basically live action interpretation of the comic book character The Fiddler. She was gender swapped, meaning she went from male to female, and she was a pretty decent character on the whole. I actually quite enjoyed her. A bit stereotypical, but I did enjoy her presence overall. I thought she was a pretty good actress. But of course, at the end of the episode, she was taken over by Clifford DeVoe, and Clifford DeVoe's new body is now Izzy Bowen. So she is now the Thinker. And obviously this is the thing that the Thinker's doing now this season. He's going from meta to body swap to make sure that his body is constantly healthy and not deteriorating. And he had to get out of Becky Sharp's body very quickly because that one was not very strong in comparison to this. But it was a decent episode on the whole, not too great, not too special, but pretty good and pretty fun on the whole. Now, Cecile was introduced last season on The Flash as a love interest for Joe West, and it was one of those things where Joe was kind of not sure if he was ready to go back into a relationship, if he had the time in his life for it, but then obviously it was, this is the CW after all, so it had to happen, but also all of Team Flash were like, go on Joe, go on lad, you need to do it. So he did, and she's been a pretty consistent part of Season 4, especially because she is the DA of Central City. Therefore, she has been a big help in Barry's court cases, which she was in many of those scenes, and of course she was Barry's attorney. So that was pretty cool to get her involved into that storyline. But another big storyline that's come out of Season 4 is that Cecile is actually pregnant, and with this pregnancy has come telepathy powers. It's not telepathy as you mainly see in superhero films and TV shows. Instead, she can actually read minds. This is a power that she gained very recently, and she's been using it pretty much more for comedic purposes in terms of the show, but she did use it to find out the Warden Wolf was doing deals with Amunet Black, so she was actually using them quite a bit. And actually in useful ways there, but she mostly uses them for comedic jokes on the show, like in this week's episode with Harry, and for a lot of the time with Joe. But these powers, they apparently stem from the pregnancy. However, what about if it has actually stemmed from the dark matter on the bus? The main storyline of The Flash Season 4 this season, besides what's going on with Clifford DeVoe, has been Barry trying to track down and protect the 12 bus metahumans who the Thinker is now going after. And of course, we have many bus metas. We've been through many at this point. We've been through 9 now, and of course one of them is a new member of Team Flash, Ralph Dibny, aka the Elongated Man. And there is a theory out there that I may not have been the first person to come up with it. I don't think I am. I'm pretty sure this theory has originated before. But what about if Cecile was actually on that bus and is actually one of the 12 bus metas? Now, this would give perfect reason as to why she has these powers, because the fact that she's gaining powers from this pregnancy does seem a bit weird and a bit off the wall. They do kind of backhandedly explain it, but then it doesn't really make sense, you know, as most things don't in The Flash really. However, if she was actually on the bus at the time that Barry got out of the Speed Force, this would mean that this has a viable reason as to why she has these telepathy powers and why she's able to read people's minds without going into this weird complex pregnancy storyline, which could potentially have to lead to other things with this baby. Instead, it could just be this simple thing that's already been established this season. So if Cecile is a bus meta, why hasn't she said anything? Well, I feel that Cecile is the type of character who likes to protect a lot of information regarding herself if it puts others in harm's way, and therefore I feel like she would want to perhaps keep the fact that she was on that bus a secret to keep everyone focused on what's going on and not to worry anyone, especially like Joe, who obviously worries a lot about the people he cares about, and also that would cause Barry to go into super hyper protection mode. I feel like that's Cecile's kind of idea here. She's thinking, right, you know, let's just keep this focused on DeVoe, let's keep this focused on the other bus metas, and then once this has all died down, I can say, oh hey, I was a bus meta and blah blah blah. However, this is of course going to lead to drama, because that is the massive thing on The Flash. They all lie and they all keep secrets from each other, and it all just ends in hell. So this is sure going to be playing out later on this season, I'm guaranteed of it. The way I think this will play out is we will see all the bus metas, and we'll see all of them, and then there'll be this 12th meta that they can't track down, and they just can't figure out who it is. They can't find them. DeVoe can't seem to find them, and maybe eventually DeVoe does get to them, and it's actually Cecile, and then it's, you know, forcibly revealed to Team Flash that Cecile was a bus meta. And this would be a pretty interesting way to reveal it. It would be a pretty cool way to reveal it, and this could also lead to Cecile's death. Now, this is something I think I did in my Flash Season 4 predictions. I think Cecile is going to die. Now, this would be a pretty dark thing to do, because Cecile is a very likable character. I'm a big fan of Cecile. I wasn't the biggest fan of when she was first introduced, but she really grew on me in the back half of Season 3 and in Season 4. I feel like she's a really cool character. However, this pregnancy storyline could take a darker turn here. Now, it just depends on whether the Flash would actually want to go that dark by, you know, killing the mother and then potentially killing the child too, or maybe the child will be born before. I don't know. I think it'd be interesting, because particularly I don't want another baby on this show, or another child, because Supergirl has Ruby and it's awful. Arrow has William, I hate it. I don't want another child on this show, or on any of the CW shows. I just feel like they are always bringing down the story, and they always just have these awful scenes. A lot of the time the actors who play them are awful and can not act to save their lives, so please, if they're actually going to go down this route, at least it will eliminate that storyline. And as far as the other bus metas go, obviously I don't know who the other ones are yet, and we don't quite know what their powers are and how DeVoe is going to use them. But we do know, of course, one of the bus metas who DeVoe will surely want to be going after is Ralph Dibny, the elongated man, who is of course now a member of Team Flash. This begs the question of, will Ralph Dibny be killed off this season? Personally, I'm going to say no. I feel Ralph Dibny being introduced this season, I feel he's going to be around for a couple more seasons, because he's he's kind of been established as the next vigilante. He's kind of Barry's new sidekick. Now that Wally's gone off to Legends, he's kind of the new sidekick for Barry as the elongated man alongside Vibe and Killer Frost. And I feel the fact that they've made a proper costume for him and they've spent so much time developing him as a hero so far this season, to have him killed off in the same season would be extremely wasteful in character development. I could see where they were going with the arc, but you can still do that arc, but you can do it in a much longer space of time instead of just shoving it all into one season. So I don't think Ralph will die. I feel Ralph will be put in significant danger towards the back half of the season. I feel like he will be, of course, a massive target for DeVoe, but I don't think he'll be killed off. I feel it'll be extremely wasteful, and Hartley Sawyer is so good in this role. He's actually one of my favourite characters on The Flash. I think he's absolutely fantastic, so I definitely don't want to see him go. So what do you guys think about this theory of Cecile actually being a bus meta? I think it actually has quite a lot of credence to it. I think it actually has quite a lot of, proof behind it and a lot of truth behind it that could be used to say, yes, she is actually a bus meta. It could be a really cool storyline. I feel it would put Cecile's character in a very interesting place and could set up her death in a perfect way. And this could also, tie back into DeVoe. It could tie back into the child storyline, depending on what's going on there. Maybe it is Dawn Allen, and that's why that mysterious girl keeps showing up. And also, what do you think about Ralph Dibny? Do you think he's going to die this season, or do you think he's going to stick around? I personally think he will stick around quite a bit longer. And in terms of Cecile, I think her being the 12th bus meta is looking pretty promising at this point. But tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. So, thank you guys for watching this episode of DC TV Talk. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like, it'll help me out a lot, and share this video with anyone and everyone you know who loves DC TV and get them to join the community. And as always guys, please subscribe for all of your latest content on Supergirl, The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow and Black Lightning. And with all that said, I hope to see you guys again in my next video.